It's 6 a.m. and we're starting in the mid-70s. Tiny bit humid out there, I would say, but it was nice to get those break in temperatures yesterday evening.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hey there, good morning. It is 6 a.m. It is Wednesday, June 12th. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Yes, thanks for joining us. We hope you had a good week so far. We hope you got to enjoy either the cloud cover, the rain, or even just some of the wind.
I really enjoyed the wind. It made me believe that there was rain in the way, but I did not get that lucky.
I think a lot of people might have missed out on the rain.
It was like a big donut. Everything went around San Antonio.
Yeah. Well, maybe we have another chance today.
There are some chances.
We do have a chance, but again, hope for the best. Expect not getting any rain, because most folks aren't going to see rain today. But yeah, it was nice, and that gust front, that outflow boundary moved through. Temperatures dropped down in just about an hour, about 14 degrees out there at the airport, from about 97 down to 83, which was very, very nice. Now, we do have a few more showers out there right now, but again, most everybody's not seeing rain. You go down 37, going to run into a few of these going through Pleasanton right now. Pearsall, you got some of these showers, and there's not really even any lightning strikes being detected as of right now, but we will, there's going to be the chance for a few more of these. We've got this nice northerly flow in the atmosphere, so that sends these little disturbances down through here, and so that's why we do keep that chance of rain in the forecast throughout basically the morning hours and the first portion of the day, and then it looks like things are going to start to kind of taper off just a little bit. 73 right now, normal low temperature. It's nice to be kind of normal, and then everybody's primarily in the mid to lower 70s, a couple of 77s out there as of right now. Nixon's coming in at 74. Mold is on the high side, I should say, at 8,400. The updated count comes out in just a couple of hours, and temperatures will stay pretty steady for the next few hours, and then we'll keep that 30% chance for a scattered shower, maybe a storm around the area. A couple more going to be popping up here and there. Again, keep your fingers crossed, but don't be disappointed if you don't see rain, because most of us will not. We'll be up to 86 at noon, and then top off today at 93 with a little bit lesser chance for some rain by late afternoon, dinner time, going on into this evening. After that, rain kind of gets turned off for a while, and heat's going to get cranked up. What about Father's Day? Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ, big problem on the far northwest side, right?
Yeah, a big old mess out there in Bernie. Mike, as we take a look at TransGuide traffic cameras, I-10 eastbound, complete shutdown of the main lanes here, a little bit outside of Bernie. This is going to be over at Upper Cibolo Creek Road. In that area, we've had a crash that involved at least a couple of vehicles in this area. So let's go ahead and check back in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He has actually made his way all the way out there to this scene. So let's go ahead and go to Alex right now. Alex, can you give us the latest?
Looks to be clearing pretty soon. I did get here and we had Kendall County first responders on scene, and it looks like they're already making their way out. We do have a tow truck also here with about 2 vehicles that are being hitched up right now, and they're about to be towed away. So again, coming down I-10 eastbound just north of Bernie, it is closed. You have to take the frontage road, but again, give it about 15, 20 minutes, and this should be completely wrapped up. So I'll stick around and hopefully give you some better news next time, RJ.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. And good clarification there from Alex. As he mentioned, a couple of vehicles involved. Sometimes it's hard to see from these TransGuide traffic cameras exactly what's going on out there. But again, as Alex mentioned, I-10 eastbound, that has been shut down at the moment. Right now, traffic has been diverted off to the frontage road. Everything else across the city of San Antonio looking pretty good right now. South side, we had a disabled vehicle over on 35 in Malone area, but that is cleared out. Seeing some delays right here on Highway 16 out there by Watson Road. So we'll continue to check on that here in just a bit to give you more updates as we get them. Stephanie, Patty, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Well, it's been more than a week since the county launched its new Odyssey portal. KSAT has been documenting problems with the criminal case management system since last Wednesday. And we've heard complaints about a backlog of inmates for booking and release, even after posting bond. Families with no way to check where their loved ones are or if they've been arrested, and attorneys, judges, and clerks slowed down by trying to learn how this new system works. A local attorney and current director of the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association shared with us what he thinks of the new system.
People who should have been released that weren't, and there's some significant information supporting that people who should not have been released are now free on the streets, and the computers still show they're in jail and they're out.
Well, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar sent out a statement, and it says, in part, quote, "I am extremely dissatisfied with how this system has performed thus far. There have been no erroneous releases of inmates, regardless of what the online system may have indicated," end quote. Now you can read the sheriff's full statement and watch our full interview with Bobby Bedetta right now on KSAT.com. In Uvalde this morning, UPS and FedEx are named in a lawsuit by victims' families of the Robb Elementary shooting. Now, the lawsuit accuses FedEx of shipping and delivering the AR-15 style rifle used to a gun store where the shooter picked it up, even though he was not 18 when he bought it. The lawsuit also accuses UPS of delivering a package that contained an illegal trigger system to the shooter's home. Both shipping companies released statements regarding that lawsuit. Now, FedEx said in part, quote, "FedEx is committed to the lawful, secure, and safe movement of regulated items through our network, and we comply with applicable laws and regulations," end quote. UPS said, part, quote, "The lawsuit has no merit, and we will defend accordingly," end quote. Now, you can read both UPS and FedEx's full comments on our website, KSAT.com.
Happening today, Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai will deliver the State of Business in Bexar County address. Now, this used to be called the State of the County. The fireside chat will begin at noon. We will live stream it. You can watch it on KSAT.com or wherever you stream. Topping your morning headlines, a man is behind bars in Atlanta after hijacking a bus and leading police on a high-speed chase that later turned deadly. It started with a report of gunfire on a bus. As police arrived, the suspect hijacked the bus and took off. As someone inside the bus led police on a chase through rush hour traffic, crashing into a number of vehicles. The bus eventually stopped and the hijacker was arrested. Officers found one person with a gunshot wound inside the bus who died at a hospital. No other passengers were injured.
8 people with suspected ties to ISIS are in federal custody this morning after illegally crossing the southern border last year. Now, all 8 are from Tajikistan in Central Asia. While monitoring them in recent weeks, authorities discovered information indicating ties to ISIS. They were arrested in New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia. Intelligence experts say authorities might have waited to arrest the migrants in hopes of uncovering a bigger threat.
There is a particular network where some of the overseas facilitators of the smuggling network have ISIS ties that we're very concerned about.
The FBI has warned that Islamist groups could try to use the southern border as a way to smuggle militants into the U.S. The 8 migrants are likely to be deported.
And we're learning new details from jurors after Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. They say it took 3 hours to find the president's son guilty of lying about his drug use on a background check when buying a gun. Initial votes were split, but the juror said key evidence pointed to Biden knowing he was an addict when filling out the paperwork. Hunter Biden is set for another trial in California in September, this time for tax evasion.
And check this out. If you thought you had some lousy neighbors, well, this family in California is dealing with it. A bear broke into the crawl space under their home, and they often hear the bear, who they named Samson, moving around. However, police there are not doing anything since the bear has not posed a threat to anyone. The homeowner says they'll board up the crawl space to keep Samson out the next time he decides to leave.
Wow. I mean, the worst we could have is like a raccoon, but
right.
A bear?
A bear.
That's
yeah.
a problem.
They'll need to charge rent, for sure.
Time right now, 6:09, 74 degrees out there.
Well, still to come, the Dallas Mavericks are staring down a 2-game deficit in the NBA Finals. What players are saying ahead of the Game 3 tonight?
And taking a live look outside with our live cam. All right, it's starting to, the sun's starting to come out. We're starting to see some of those clouds out there. The chances for rain are there, although small. Mike is going to tell us what those chances look like coming up.
Welcome back. It's 6:13. So for all you dads out there, listen up right now on KSAT.com. Kerrville Shriner Park is celebrating you this Father's Day with a special deal. So this Sunday, dads and father figures can get into the park for free when you buy a Child's Day pass. So whether you're a camper, hiker, or mountain biker, there's plenty of room for all that fun. So we have all the details on our website, ksat.com.
And looking ahead to July, the Cine Festival is coming back to San Antonio for the 45th year. The festival will showcase 75 films made by local and regional artists. The festival runs from July 11th to the 14th at the Little Carver Civic Center and the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema Park North. All access passes to the festival will be available starting June 17th. Admission at Alamo Drafthouse is $45. Viewings at the Little Carver are free, but you'll still need a ticket.
And if you are looking for something more educational or artsy, a number of museums across San Antonio will be offering free admission on certain days or hours this summer. So it's part of the Museums for All program, which allows families using SNAP free or reduced admission by showing their card and their photo ID. You can head over to ksat.com to see a full list of museums in our area.
So a lot of ways to treat fathers on Father's Day this weekend. There's some ideas right there.
That's right. If they're getting shopping early, I think now would be a great time to shop because there's nobody on the roadway, at least from these cameras.
Exactly.
Yeah, guys, things looking pretty good. Also, good ways to definitely beat the heat. Any sort of movies, museums, and things of that nature. Movies, though, I got to say, the talent in San Antonio continues to amaze me, especially when it comes to these festivals. I think of the one and only Jesse Borrego, kind of the OG here in the San Antonio area, but he's obviously involved in a lot of things there. Okay, speaking of talent, our very talented photojournalist, Alex Gomez, he has been out at this scene at I-10 East, out in the far northwest side, Bernie area. So let's go ahead and check back in with Alex because it looks like he's back on the roads and it looks like things have cleared out there, Alex.
Yeah, that's correct, RJ. Right now, I'm about to make that U-turn because I-10 eastbound, right outside of Bernie, has reopened. That scene has cleared. Kendall County first responders have just left the scene. So, again, I-10 East, just outside of Bernie, has reopened, and it's back to normal, RJ.
All right, good to hear. So let's stay with Alex here real quick because obviously Mike has been dropping some hints for you. I know it's early, but have you thought about any Christmas gifts for Mike or the crew?
Yeah, for the crew, the number one gift right now is going to be a San Antonio Brahmas jersey.
I'll take it.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Are you exiting right there, Alex, to get breakfast? Is that it?
How nice.
For himself.
He's been busy. It was a long haul to get from 1604 out there to 10. So
if you pick something up, just put it on RJ's tab.
I have a tab? I didn't know I had a tab.
Yeah, you do now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, as he continues to check the roads for us during the rest of our 6 o'clock hour, guys. Yeah.
Great idea.
Good.
The Brahmas.
The Brahmas. I like it.
When's that the championship game?
Sunday,
4 o'clock. Yeah.
In
St. Louis against Birmingham.
I wish it was here.
Yeah, that would
be
awesome.
really
It would have been
exciting.
here. Yeah. Last year it was.
Yeah.
They did have the title game here. Brahmas were not in that game, but they still had the game here.
I know, but now that the Brahmas are here, let's make an exception. Bring them to the Alamo Dome, right?
I think we get the Rock's attention.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You have his number on.
I do not, no, unfortunately.
Take a look at the picture from yesterday. We had, of course, some sunshine starting off, and then those clouds moved in, and some folks did get some rain, and yeah, it cooled things off when that gust front moved through, and it's beautiful sunset there in Helotes. We appreciate that. All right, we do have a few clouds hanging around out there at the airport right now. Things are lightening up, and we do still have a few showers around the area. Again, not much. I mean, pretty much down here, Pearsall, heading in toward Dilley, and a couple of those cells right there. We're not even really detecting any lightning strikes or anything like that. A few scattered little ones here and there, more well up to the north. So there is some energy around the area, and that's what's going to be moving on through here throughout the course of the morning. So computer models do have a few of these scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Again, keep your fingers crossed you get some rain, but don't get too disappointed if you don't, because not many folks are going to be seeing rain around here. We'll just call it kind of a 30% chance, but then even as the afternoon rolls on, we are going to see sort of diminishing amounts of rain. Now, will there be some leftover energy if a storm pops up? That is a possibility as well. But again, not really a great rain chance going on in here. Here's what's going on with the upper level steering winds. With all of the showers you saw that are coming in here from the north. So the high is just off to the west of us. And so that's what's keeping us in this northerly flow. And you get little disturbances kind of riding down here, little bumps in the atmosphere. That's what tends to spawn some of these showers. a couple of the thunderstorms. But as time rolls on, we are going to be seeing that high sort of take over a little bit more and move in on top of us. And as it kind of scoots in here a little bit closer, that's why as it sits on top of us, we are going to start to heat up. So that'll be the case going into somewhat tomorrow, but especially Friday and over the weekend. Now, the center of the high will eventually scoot over here into the southeast United States. So what that does, you know, when it's off to the west of us, we have that northerly flow. Now we'll start to get the flow coming in here off of the Gulf of Mexico. So as of right now, it doesn't look like there's any big systems brewing out there, but at least with this situation, with this flow coming in, and maybe some of these, as we call them, kind of easterly waves moving in, that would at least give us the opportunity. There'll be some more moisture coming in upstairs in the atmosphere, the opportunity for a couple of showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms around here, especially as we go into the latter portion of next week. So as far as today is concerned, 93 high temperature. Again, there will be some rain out there. Don't get too disappointed if you don't see rain. Most of us, unfortunately, are not going to. After today, it's pretty much it through the weekend. Temperatures will start to warm up. Make it to 96 tomorrow, 98 on Friday, Flag Day, and then going into the weekend on Father's Day, it is going to be a sizzler. So if you're doing some cooking out, yeah, make sure you do it in the shade. But then going into next week, as we see a bit of a subtle pattern change, we'll have more clouds around here and at least that small chance for some rain, and we'll have temperatures that are going to be in the mid and kind of leaning toward the lower 90s, closer to normal high temperatures next week. I hear music. That means I say more after this.
Kate made progress with her mental health, but her medication caused unintentional movements in her face, hands, and feet called tardive dyskinesia, or TD. So her doctor prescribed Austedo XR, a once-daily TD treatment for adults. Austedo XR significantly reduced Kate's TD movements. Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, Kate can stay on her mental health meds.
Oh, hi, buddy. Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, or have suicidal thoughts. Don't take if you have liver problems, are taking reserpine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo XR may cause irregular or fast heartbeat or abnormal movements. Seek help for fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, or sweating. Common side effects include inflammation of the nose and throat, insomnia, and sleepiness.
Ask your doctor for Austedo XR.
In this morning's GMA First Look, trapped in sand.
You're probably 10 feet from the sand dunes, and I just dropped into the ground.
Jamie Acord was walking on the beach in Maine with her husband when she suddenly found herself waist deep in sand, trapped. Her husband, Patrick, fortunately able to pull her out quickly, and this morning they're telling their story on GMA.
I was right beside her, and she dropped down like a couple feet. I was like, well, where are your legs?
It's all over the world. Anywhere you're adjacent to a water body, there's a chance you could potentially have it. Most of the time that you would encounter quicksand is in areas of the beach that are kind of below the high tide line.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how they escaped and the expert tips that could save you from the same situation. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Welcome back. We are 2 games into this year's NBA Finals, and the Dallas Mavericks are down 2 games to none going into Game 3 tonight in Dallas.
ABC's Will Reeve is there and has a few questions for players on both sides ahead of tonight's pivotal matchup.
What do you need from the home crowd in Game 3?
I know they're going to be amazing. They've always been the whole playoffs, the whole season. So I know it's going to be loud in here. So I can't wait to play in front of the home crowd.
What's it like being booed?
It's a compliment. To be booed at that type of level means I'm great at something. You know what I mean? There's a level of fear that goes in those boos. If I wasn't as great as I am or as supported as I am, whether it be on and off the court, I don't think it'd be worthwhile. So I take all that energy in, try to transmute it into something positive.
In Game 2, you had perhaps the most crucial play of all, that block at the end. What was going through your mind as you were chasing down P.J. Washington?
I'm just sprinting. The ball's ahead of me, so just sprinting back. I mean, Kyrie had it, so I didn't really know what's going to happen. And I mean, as soon as he passed it, I was like, I just got to go try to make a play, and just went up there and tried to make a play. That's what I did.
And that was ABC's Will Reeve reporting, and former Derek White, the leading charge up in Boston. So the finals continue tonight right here on KSAT 12. Tip-off is at 7:30 at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. And we love Derek White here, of course, but I think it's Dallas's turn for at least one win.
Yeah, we're rooting for Texas teams here.
I think so.
All right, time right now, 6:27, 74 degrees out there.
And let's look out there with Alex Gomez's drive cam. You can see the sun is coming out, which is nice. A beautiful drive on this roadway. We're going to be checking in with him to see how his commute has been going all morning long, and we'll also check in with RJ for any problem spots. We'll be right back.
Taking a look outside with live cam, a few clouds out there for the most part, looking a lot more sunnier than yesterday. Mike's here with our forecast.
Good morning. We made it to Wednesday and it's 6:30. That's okay, Mike. We saw your arm. We're going to be talking to you anyway.
That's what I get for messing around while they're drawing the two shot. Anyway,
You haven't seen him. He's being real goofy today. He's usually pretty, serious, but
no.
we've got a few clouds out there right now and some humidity. Some folks are seeing a little bit of rain, and it's not much, kind of like yesterday afternoon. As you can see, all that is working its way down to the south, to just south of Pearsall, going down 37. You're going to run into a little bit of that. A couple of these showers still around Hondo, just south of Medina. There will be a few more that are going to be popping up throughout the rest of the morning, just, kind of scattered about here and there, and a few this afternoon. We are at 73 at normal low temperature right now. And throughout the rest of today, first of all, we do have a high amount of mold out there. The updated count's going to come out in just a couple of hours or so. And again, temperatures will warm up to the mid 80s at noon, 93. So it's not going to be blazing hot today. We'll keep a couple of clouds here and there, and lesser chances of rain once we get into the afternoon hours. What's in store for Father's Day? Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. So the big problem on the northwest side, gone?
We are cleared out, yes. Okay. So good news for our drivers out in the Bernie area. Only thing that we're seeing right now is a stalled vehicle right now on the eastbound lanes of 90 right there at Loop 410. So the Lackland Air Force Base area, if you are going to be in and around that area or stepping outside anytime soon. Speaking of being outside, let's check back in with photojournalist Alex Gomez to see where he is at. Alex was at that crash, so let us know what you're up to, man.
Yeah, and that crash wrapped up, and you know what? There was no residual backup. I took that U-turn, I got on I-10 East, and I had no problems coming back into town. So right now I'm on I-10 East near the Dominion, and you know what? While I'm in this area, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I might see Manu Ginobili out here. RJ?
Yes, a lot of Spurs players still make their homes out there. Manu, Tony Parker, Fabricio Oberto, but we will check back in with Alex here in just a bit as he's got a beautiful look there from our streaming vehicle out there. As we take one more quick look here, 151 West Military Drive, traffic moving pretty smooth both directions there. I-10 downtown area, same situation. Patty, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Well, a Texas family is turning to nonprofits to help find a missing woman. It's been 8 years since Bianca Carrasco was seen walking away from her home on the northeast side of San Antonio.
Her sister is getting some help from a nonprofit to get answers after years of silence from investigators.
No, she wouldn't have taken off on foot, as her husband said.
There's no doubt for Giovanna Burney that her sister Bianca Carrasco is dead.
She wouldn't have taken off at all. And she certainly would not just vanish and not contact me or someone.
Now she just wants answers and closure for her kids.
I just want to find her. I want to find her. She has kids. They believe that she walked away from them. And that's not okay. That's not okay. They have to know. They have to know that their mom did not walk away.
She was 29 at the time. Bianca Carrasco was last seen walking away from her home here on Walnut Creek Drive on May 1st, 2016.
I had been worried about her because the days leading up to her disappearance, her husband was very, very all over the place, upset.
The family told police the nurse and mother of three was having issues with her husband. She told her sister she was going to file for divorce the week she disappeared. After 8 years with no answers or arrests, Giovanna has grown frustrated.
I've been told by the police that some crimes are just not solvable. And I've been told a lot of things to kind of just make me be quiet or go away. But I can't do that.
The national organization Season of Justice paid for a billboard along I-10 and Wurzbach Road. KSAT reached out to SAPD for an interview about the Carrasco case. Police declined, but a few days later, a $5,000 Crime Stoppers was put out.
Anybody who knows what happened to her, it's not going to go away. And I don't want anyone thinking that. Because I know it's exhausting at times. It's exhausting. It's heavy. Regardless, I still have to keep looking for her.
And here's another photo of Bianca. She would be 37 years old now. If you know anything about her disappearance, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 210-224-7867.
We know these are very critical to a lot of people involved in these situations.
Well, streaming right now on KSAT.com, rape kits are supposed to be processed within 30 days in San Antonio. However, an audit showed that San Antonio police had over 100 kits in their property room for longer than that. Our Courtney Friedman breaks down what happened and what changes the San Antonio Police Department is making right now on KSAT.com and KSAT Plus.
Meanwhile, our coverage continues on a story that we've been following for over a month. An online security breach within Central Med's online database has made patient information vulnerable to hackers. While the company's IT department continues to find a fix, the problem persists and healthcare providers is still struggling to access its online records. On the top tab of Central Med's website, you'll see the notice of the breach. KSAT spoke to the healthcare provider back on May 24th. At that time, Central Med hoped to have access to its records by the following week. So far, that has not happened. If you're a Central Med patient and have concerns about your sensitive information, there is a number to call. That number is 888-990-8424. We are keeping tabs on this story, and we're going to keep checking back until the problem is fixed.
Well, the time now is 6:37 and 75 degrees for now.
If you're struggling with high interest credit card debt, you want to keep it right here. After the break, Ivan Herrera has what you need to know to take control of your finances.
And let's look out there with live cam this morning. A beautiful morning in the mid-70s, a little humid out there. Things are going to heat up for the most part, but we're still keeping our fingers crossed for any chance of rain or even cloud cover. Hi, welcome back. It is 6:41. Well, people over 35 are struggling more than any other age group to pay their overdue credit cards. So what should you do to help pay down some of that crushing debt?
Digital journalist Ivan Herrera with some things to look out for.
Credit cards can charge you a lot of interest, with some as high as 30%. And virtually no investment will give you the returns to match these types of interest rates. So, paying them off quickly can help you avoid debt. Here's some tips to help you pay it off.
First, stash the plastic. Don't use a credit card with a high annual percentage rate unless you know you'll have the money to pay the bill when it's due.
Make sure you know what you owe. Track your credit card purchases and determine how much you'll pay each month.
If you can't pay the balance in full, make a plan for how much you can pay per month and how long it'll take to pay off the debt.
And you want to look at the credit card with the highest interest rate first. Pay down as much as you can toward that debt each month while making payments on your other debts.
Well, Ivan joins us live right now to break down some of those tips with ways to pay down high interest debt. Good morning, Ivan.
Good morning, Ivan. So let's start out with stashing the plastic. What are some ways that we can avoid putting more on those high debt credit cards?
I know. It's hard to do it, right? Good morning, first of all. So if you have high interest debt and you want to if you continue racking up that debt, put it away because you're going to get into a lot more trouble than it's worth. Trust me. And what you want to do is we're going to combine some tips for you. Combine tips 1 and 2. So first, put that card away, but also keep track of what you owe. Now, I know it sounds tedious, but it's imperative to know what you're spending your money on. Now, if you can work on a budget, that's great. But if you're the type who needs smaller steps, maybe someone like me, maybe someone like you, maybe someone like grandma, track all of that monthly spending and then just build on that, because you really want to get your expenses and your income and everything, your budget all together.
So what happens at the end of the month if you don't pay that high interest rate card?
Well, you get in trouble with somebody. If the balance is quite large, you're going to be regretting that, because you're going to be hit with all that high interest. Now, what you want to do is plan. If you think that you're going to be able to make your payment, if you think you're not going to be able to make your payment, at the very least, start out with figuring out a plan for when you will pay down that debt in its entirety and how much it's going to cost you in the end. Now, credit card providers usually send you a payoff date and tell you how much you're going to be paying if you only give the minimum payment toward your balance. And let me be real with you, only making that minimum payment will take you a longer time to pay it off, and you definitely want to avoid that.
So if we have a bunch of credit cards, you had mentioned earlier looking at the card with the highest interest rate first if you have a lot of them. Why is that so important?
Yeah, so there's different strategies to pay off the debt. At the end of the day, it's your decision if you want to pay off more and if you want to spend more time working off that debt. But if you're not the type who likes to pay more, there are some strategies like the high interest rate and the snowball methods. Now, the high interest rate method is paying more towards your cards with the highest APR first, while also making progress on your other debts. For the snowball method, it's the opposite. You pay more and focus on paying off the smallest debt first, and then continue making your minimum payment towards your other cards. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you consult with a banking or a financial expert that knows your money, and they can put you on the right track. Stephanie and Patty?
Thank you so much, Ivan. Very good reminders and good tips for, all of us who struggle with that credit card. Well, if you want to find this story and other money tips, you can head over to ksat.com/money.
Ivan, thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And time now at 6:45. Roads look okay from this angle, but let's check in with RJ Marquez.
Turn my mic on here. I think you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you in the studio. Let's see, is the mic working?
And here we go. There we go. We're back. No, I was going to say I need to pick Ivan's brain because it's the rewards that always get me. Those rewards are always tricky there. As we take a look, TransGuide traffic cameras, I-10 burning. We had that accident a little bit earlier, so that has been cleared out right there in that area. A couple of things to let you know about right now. So let's take you out to our maps here real quick. Once we can go ahead and cycle through there, we do have a stalled vehicle, 281 northbound at Bitters Road, a little bit past the San Antonio International Airport. So keep that in mind if you're headed up 281 right now. And the other incident that we've been seeing is the west side of town, 410 and the 90 area. We had a stalled vehicle there that's not causing too many delays at the moment right now. As you see, that traffic is moving through that area. Let's go ahead and check back in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He has been out and about with the roads for us, and Alex was out by the Dominion a little bit earlier. So let the folks know, Alex, where you're at right now.
RJ, good morning. Right now I'm on I-10 eastbound headed towards the downtown area, and right now I've been driving down I-10 all the way since Bernie. I rarely had to touch the brakes. So coming down I-10 on the far northwest side, you're going to be in great shape, RJ.
All right, Alex, real quick, how do you like using the truck? Because I noticed you were using our roof camera a little bit earlier, kind of showing people some other angles.
Oh, it's great. You got a front camera and then you have the roof camera, which actually rotates, so I can get better angles of any scenes out here. In the future, there's a talent cam in here. Maybe I can start using that, show my face a little bit more. People want to
see your face, man.
See what I look like.
Or maybe he likes the mystery.
You know what? Once I get that one working, I will start using it.
Cool, man. All right, we will get to that. Yeah. Maybe he's just a man of mystery right
now. The voice.
And since he has now become a Lions fan, I'll get him a Lions hat because he likes to wear a hat.
He does wear a cap.
I think he'll be wearing a Brahmas hat.
That's true.
For sure.
After the
at least this week.
He's a San Antonio man.
All right, take a look at this picture yesterday. Of course, we had a lot of those clouds moved on in here. And hi, RJ.
Hi, RJ.
They didn't swing 3 yet, so just keep smiling right there. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Swing that all the way around. And there's the pretty picture that is showing up. This is over there, obviously, at Woodlawn Lake. And it's mentioned where the rain shaft is. It looks like it may be on the right-hand side of this. Doesn't show up too awfully well, but what a great looking picture there. I think That may be it right in there. But thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, looking off to the east, a little bit of kind of that fuzz out there. We do have some humidity. It's not wet towel kind of humidity, but enough to sort of notice it. The few showers that we've been seeing around here this morning, they obviously continue to work their way down to the south. We've got just a couple of stragglers over here in parts of Medina County, near Tarpley, just to the west of Uvalde. That's pretty much it in the immediate vicinity. But as far as elsewhere, not that far out into space. Let me zoom in. Every once in a while, you kind of hit the wrong thing, and is this going to act up on me? Yeah, it is. But anyway, it's a nice view. This is what it looked like from Apollo 8 when they circled the moon and then saw that. So, see, I'm supposed to be able to come back in here and get back into home. So let me try this again. You know, it ain't going to work for me. So anyway, we've got... There we go. Now we zoom right back in here. And this is what's going on as far as the more showers and a couple of more thunderstorms perhaps around the area. Not really a heck of a lot. There will be just one or two of them. As a matter of fact, this latest computer model run isn't even as generous with the rain as the one earlier this morning was. So we'll still have a few of those out there. Hope for the best, but don't be disappointed if you don't see rain, but it's because it's going to be a situation like it was yesterday. Now, if any of these do pop up, they could throw out some of those outflow boundaries like we had moved through the area yesterday, which could then spawn a couple of more. So again, one or two out there even going into tonight, but that's pretty much going to be about it. And as things continue to move on in time, then rain chances continue to sort of go downhill, and then the heat builds on in here. So it's this high coming around that clockwise rotation. The reason why we had those little disturbances moving through here, and we'll still have a couple of them. But as this continues to sort of build on in here and sit on top of us, that puts a lid on the atmosphere. So that suppresses any sort of rain and also tends to heat things up because it pushes down and again, compresses the atmosphere. But that will eventually work its way off to the east. And what will be happening going into next week then is a little more of a flow coming in here off the Gulf of Mexico. Perhaps a bit more humidity, but with that situation, there's the chance to see a few little disturbances move on in here. So that's why we have at least a small rain chance starting the first of next week and then enhancing a little bit more by the end of the week. But prior to that, we're just going to start to heat up. And for Father's Day, we are looking at triple digits. Going to wrap things up after this. Stick around.
Welcome back at 6:54. Well, we have the KSAT Community Town Hall coming up later this week to discuss the impact elder abuse has on our community.
Unfortunately, Bexar County has more cases of elder abuse and exploitation than any other county in the state. That is why we want to raise awareness about this issue.
So join us on Thursday afternoon on KSAT Plus as Avery Everett speaks with experts from Adult Protective Services and Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union about the problems of elder abuse and how to prevent it. And attention, this is your reminder that Father's Day is on Sunday. And if you still need to get Dad a gift, tune in today. Yes. You can tune in today on GMSA at 9. We're going to be speaking with a shopping expert about some of the top gifts dads want this year. So tune in for that and much more today on GMSA at 9.
I just hope it's not like $100 pillow.
No. Hopefully there'll be lots of options also in the cost range. Yeah, the cost range for sure. Well, time now at 6:55. Let's check back with RJ.
I'm thinking like a nice meat and cheese board, something like that. Yeah, oh, there you go, Mike. See, all right, I got the sign of approval right there. 37-410, traffic moving pretty good far southeast side of town as we take a look at some of our other cameras. 37 Jones Avenue, same situation there as well. So we want to take one more look here at our citywide map, and everything looking pretty good if you're about to step outside right now. Only thing that we're seeing 281 northbound right there at Bitters, a little bit north of the San Antonio International Airport, have a stalled vehicle in that area. Mike?
Not a bad view outside. We got a couple of clouds hanging around here, some humidity, nice sunrise. Those few little leftover showers continue to move down to the southeast. We'll still keep a couple more here and there throughout the course of the day. 73 degrees right now and a little bit better chances, I think. And again, not great. So don't be disappointed if you don't see rain. We're going to stay in the low 90s today. And then over the next few days, we will begin to heat up. So after today, if you don't see any more rain, which most of us won't, That gets shut off through the weekend. Flag Day 98 on Friday and Father's Day 100. But then temperatures should ease somewhat next week with at least small rain chances in pretty much every day next week. So
that'd be great.
Yeah.
We are still 8 days away from the start of summer.
I know.
That's better than
It
counting
feels
down to
like it.
Christmas.
At least after that, the days get shorter.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not necessarily cooler, though.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 9.